The English Mike, learn English. Hey there, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Hi! Great to be here.
Today we're looking into something that sounds simple, but, well, the structure we've examined suggests it can seriously boost your focus and energy. We're talking about the daily routine.
That's right. You hear routine and maybe you think boring
Yeah.
or restrictive.
Yeah, a bit rigid maybe.
But the picture painted here is actually quite different. It suggests structure can paradoxically lead to, well, more freedom, more mental space.
Interesting. So we're going to unpack what a balanced day might look like, drawing from this detailed guide.
And crucially, we'll dig into the why behind it all. It's not just a timetable.
Exactly. We want to understand the science, the psychology, why these things work. The goal is to give you, the listeners, some really actionable ideas to maybe structure your own day better.
For more productivity, sure, but also well-being and maybe sparking some of those aha moments.
Love those. Okay, so a whole day. Where do we even begin?
Well, the guide starts where the day starts the morning, and it begins pretty early.
All right, 6:30 a.m. Wake up and hydrate. Straight away. Now, 6:30, that might sound tough for some.
It might, but the idea is getting that quiet time before the world wakes up, before the emails start flying. It lets you be more proactive.
Okay, proactive. What else?
Well, biologically, that early quiet time often lines up with when our brains are naturally geared for focus. So it's leveraging your body clock, not just avoiding noise.
And the hydration, first thing.
Oh, absolutely key. You get dehydrated overnight. So that first glass of water, it kickstarts your metabolism, helps flush things out.
It helps you wake up properly.
Definitely. Studies link it to better alertness, sharper thinking right off the bat.
Okay, that clicks. I know I feel fuzzy if I skip that. The guide mentions practical stuff too, right? Like the alarm clock trick.
Yeah, putting it across the room so you have to get up. Classic. And keeping water right there, bedside. Simple, but effective.
Got it. So we're up, we're hydrated. What's next in this ideal morning? 6:45 a.m.
Yep, 6:45 a.m. is for light exercise or stretching. And the emphasis is really on light.
Not a full-on beast mode workout.
No, not necessarily. Just 10, maybe 15 minutes. Enough to wake up your muscles, wake up your mind, get the blood flowing.
And it's good for your mood too, I gather.
Hugely. Even that little bit of movement releases endorphins. You know, nature's mood boosters helps knock down stress levels before the day even really starts.
Right, so body weight stuff, yoga.
Exactly. The guide suggests things like that. Main thing is consistency, finding something you'll actually do and maybe mixing it up so it doesn't get stale.
Okay, move a bit, feel a bit better. Then 7:04 a.m., shower, and get ready. Standard stuff maybe, but is there a specific angle here?
There is, actually. The shower itself is energizing. Cold or warm, doesn't matter which you prefer.
I've heard about cold showers for alertness.
Yeah, the guide mentions that specifically good for circulation wakes you right up. But beyond the physical, just the act of grooming, getting dressed,
Even if you work from home.
especially then maybe. It builds confidence, sets a professional tone for yourself, helps you mentally shift into work mode.
I get that. Feeling put together does make a difference psychologically. The guide suggests listening to something while getting ready.
Yeah, music or podcast, a little bit of mental stimulation keeps things moving.
All right, next up, 7:45 a.m., breakfast, the most important meal.
Well, pretty crucial according to this routine. It's about replenishing your energy stores, your glucose that you used up overnight. You need that fuel for concentration.
And if you skip it,
Brain fog, poor memory, less focus. That mid-morning or afternoon slump hits harder. Basically, you're running on empty.
makes sense. And scientifically,
A good breakfast thing, protein, fiber, healthy fats, helps stabilize your blood sugar. Keeps your appetite in check too, so you're not grabbing snacks constantly.
the guide gives examples, right? Like oats.
Yep. Oats with fruit and nuts, whole grain toast with avocado and egg, maybe a smoothie with greens and protein, balanced stuff that gives sustained energy.
Sounds good. Okay, body-fueled, brain-fueled. What's next? 8:00 a.m.
8:00 a.m. is planning time, just 10 or 15 minutes.
Doesn't sound like much, but important.
Hugely important, the guide argues. It's for making your to-do list, reviewing your goals. It brings clarity, boosts productivity, and stops you feeling overwhelmed later. You decide what matters before you dive in.
Reduces decision fatigue throughout the day.
Exactly. And there's psychology here too. Goal setting, visualizing what you need to do. It actually increases motivation and performance.
Any specific techniques mentioned?
Yeah, like the top 3 priorities idea. Focus on the 3 most important things. Simple, but powerful. Or using planners like Notion or time blocking in your calendar.
Okay, plan made. Then at 8:30 a.m., deep work. Tell us about that.
Right, the first deep work session. This is a concept from Cal Newport, really influential. It means blocking out time, like serious chunks of time, with zero distractions.
For the hard stuff, the thinking stuff.
Precisely. Tasks that need real focus, creativity, problem solving, the kind of work that actually produces high-value results, not just busy work. It's where real learning and breakthroughs happen.
So turn off the phone. Close the email tab.
Absolutely. The guide suggests things like the Pomodoro technique work, focused for, say, 25 minutes, then a short break. And yes, definitely minimize distractions, phone away, notifications off, create that bubble of concentration.
Okay, that sounds intense but productive. So after that first deep work block, we hit midday. How does the routine keep the momentum going?
Good question. The midday routine, roughly 11:00 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., is all about sustaining focus and managing energy. It starts at 11:00 a.m. with a short break.
Just 10 or 15 minutes. Does that really do much?
Surprisingly, yes. The science on micro breaks is pretty solid. They refresh the mind, reset your focus, especially if you physically step away from your screen.
Like a quick walk outside or stretching.
Perfect examples. Anything to give your brain a proper pause. Then, at 11:15 a.m., it's back for deep work session number 2.
Ah, using that refreshed focus for more demanding tasks.
Exactly. While you're still relatively fresh, the advice is similar. Minimize distractions. Maybe try batching similar tasks together, like clearing emails or making calls if that fits your workflow. Noise-canceling headphones can be a lifesaver here, too.
Makes sense. Then 1:00 p.m. lunch.
Mm-hmm.
But not at the desk, right?
Definitely not at the desk. The guide stresses getting away from your workspace, physically, mentally. Just disconnect for a bit. It lets your mind properly reset.
And the food matters too, avoiding the post-lunch crash.
Oh, yeah. The guide recommends balanced meals, protein, greens, complex carbs, not just heavy carbs, which can lead to that energy dip. Think grilled chicken and quinoa, maybe a chickpea salad, brown rice bowl.
Sounds way better than a massive pasta bowl if you need to focus afterwards. So what happens right after lunch? Back to work.
Interestingly, no, not straight away. At 1:45 p.m., the routine suggests some light activity or a power nap.
A power nap in the middle of the workday.
I know, right? But the guide cites research like that NASA study showing short naps, even just 20 minutes, can seriously boost performance and alertness.
Wow. Okay, so if napping's not your thing.
A brisk walk, listen to some music, maybe 5 minutes of mindfulness. Just a gentle pause before the final work block.
Which starts at 2:30 p.m. And this one's for lighter tasks.
Yeah, exactly. By this point, your peak focus energy might be waning a bit. So this time is good for things that are less cognitively intense. Meetings, admin, emails, planning for the next day.
Kind of wrapping things up.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Using that time efficiently for the necessary but less demanding stuff. Avoid starting huge new projects unless it's urgent.
Okay, that midday structure makes a lot of sense, balancing intense work with breaks and lighter tasks. So as the work part of the day winds down, how does the routine handle the evening transition?
The evening routine, starting around 5:00 p.m., is really focused on switching gears, creating that clear line between work and personal life, and setting up for good sleep later.
First step at 5:00 p.m. is actually stopping work.
Seems obvious, but it's crucial. Deliberately wrapping things up. The guide really emphasizes setting firm boundaries. It's vital for preventing burnout, for overall well-being.
Easier said than done sometimes, especially working from home. Any tips in the guide for making that happen?
Yeah, building habits around it, like take 5 minutes, review what you actually got done today, gives you a sense of accomplishment, then maybe jot down the very first thing you need to tackle tomorrow.
Oh, I like that. Takes it out of your head for the evening.
Exactly. Reduces that mental clutter. Tools like Todoist, Notion, or even just a notebook can help. Then, 5:30 p.m., the routine suggests physical activity or hobbies.
Getting moving again or doing something fun. Good way to de-stress.
Absolutely. It boosts your mood, burns off any lingering stress from the day, helps you properly unwind, you get those endorphins again, cortisol levels drop.
So gym, run, dance, or something creative.
Anything you enjoy. The guide lists lots of ideas: sports, sketching, music, gardening, whatever helps you shift focus and relax.
Nice. Okay, activity done. Then dinner around 6:30 p.m.
Yep. And the timing matters here too. The advice is to eat about 2 to 3 hours before you plan to sleep.
Why is that?
Better digestion, better sleep quality. If your body's still working hard, digesting a heavy meal, it's harder to get restful sleep. The guide also suggests lighter evening meals, veggies, lean protein, healthy fats. Avoid anything too heavy or greasy.
Got it. Like stir fries, baked fish, soup.
Those kinds of things. Then, at 7:15 p.m., it's officially relaxation time.
Finally. Just chill out.
Pretty much. Guilt-free downtime. Your brain needs it to recover, process the day, spend time with family or friends, read a book, watch a show, whatever helps you relax. No pressure, no goals.
Sounds essential.
Okay.
And there's one more step before the final wind down, 8:30 p.m.
Yeah, a brief time for light planning or journaling, just a few minutes.
Not heavy planning, just reflecting.
Exactly. Maybe jotting down things you're grateful for or what went well. It boosts mindfulness. Or a quick note about tomorrow to ease any worries. Journaling like this is linked to reduced anxiety, better sleep.
A nice, gentle way to close off the active part of the evening. So that brings us to the final stretch of the night routine, preparing for sleep.
Right. This phase, from 9:00 p.m. to 10:00 p.m., is all about optimizing for sleep. It kicks off at 9:00 p.m. with a digital detox.
Putting the screens away. We hear this a lot. Why is it so important, according to the guide?
It's the blue light. It messes with melatonin production. That's the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. Disconnecting lets your brain naturally start the wind-down process.
So what should we do instead?
Read a real book, maybe do a puzzle, listen to calm music. Anything relaxing that doesn't involve a screen-blasting blue light at you.
Okay, then 9:30 p.m., meditation or deep breathing.
Yeah. These practices help calm the nervous system. When you slow your breathing consciously, it activates the rest and digest response, the opposite of the fight or flight stress response. Helps you feel relaxed, ready for sleep.
Any specific techniques?
The guide mentions things like 4-7-8 breathing or using guided meditation apps, which can be really helpful if you're new to it.
And finally, 10:00 p.m. sleep, the ultimate goal of the wind down.
Exactly. The guide really hammers home the importance of getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep.
It affects everything, doesn't it?
Everything. Focus, mood, metabolism, immune system, creativity. You name it. Sleep is foundational. The guide also recaps good sleep hygiene tips.
Like a dark, cool, quiet room.
Yep. And avoiding caffeine late in the day, sticking to a consistent sleep schedule as much as possible, even on weekends. That regularity really helps your body clock.
This is incredibly thorough. It really paints a picture of how structuring your day can support, well, everything else. It's not just about ticking boxes.
Not at all. It's about creating a framework that supports your energy, focus, and well-being. The routine provides freedom through structure, if that makes sense.
It does. It reduces decision fatigue because habits take over, builds momentum with small wins throughout the day.
And provides a sense of control, which is great for mental health, reducing that feeling of being constantly overwhelmed or reactive.
Now, obviously, a 6:30 a.m. start isn't going to work for everyone. How adaptable is this kind of framework?
Totally adaptable. That's key. The specific times are just an example. If you're a night owl, you shift the whole thing later. The principles remain the same.
So a student might use mornings for tough revision, evenings for problem sets.
Exactly. Someone working 9 to 5 might squeeze in a quick workout or podcast listen on their commute, make sure their lunch break is actual rest. Creatives might find their deep work time is late at night.
It's about finding your rhythm within the structure.
Precisely. Consistency with the principles balancing focus, rest, movement, nutrition is more important than hitting specific clock times.
This has been super insightful. So for you listening, if this resonates, maybe you don't try to overhaul everything at once.
Definitely not. The advice is to start small. Pick 1 or 2 things from this routine that appeal to you. Maybe just the morning hydration or the digital detox before bed. Try it for a week.
Track it, see how it feels.
Yeah, see what works for your life, your energy levels, adjust it. It's a personal blueprint, not a rigid prescription.
Great advice. So the final thought for you to ponder. How might consciously structuring even just one small part of your day differently unlock some unexpected energy or focus? Definitely something worth experimenting with.
Absolutely. Thanks for exploring this with us.
Thanks for listening to this deep dive.